I have this scene where I have three mugs and we want to apply an image on the surface of the mug like this, shown in this image. So there are basically three methods using which you can apply the image to the mug. The easiest and the fastest is using shrink wrap modifier. First, we'll talk about how to do this, then we'll talk about other things. So what I'll do is I'll import an image as plain. Now, if you don't have, let me show you first. When I click, I'll zoom in first, click Shift A, and in image, you should have something called as images as plain. If you don't have this option, just go to edit preferences and in the add-ons, just enable images as planes add-on. Uh, so just enable this and you should be good to go. Now I'm going to press Shift A. I'll go to image and images as planes, and from downloads I'm going to import this image. Now if we see, the image is downloaded, so I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees and scale it down to a manageable level. Okay, and I'll bring it a little forward. Okay, so we have this image, and currently if we see, if we go into the edit mode, we have only four vertices, so there's only one face. If we use a shrink wrap modifier, which should be under deform, shrink wrap modifier, and we're going to select this eyedropper as a target and select the mug as the target object. Now you can see the plane is not being shrink wrapped to the surface. The reason for that is because we don't have any geometry to shrink wrap it to the surface. It has only four vertices, and these vertices have been shrink wrapped to the surface. And between those four vertices, there's only one plane, and hence it appears straight, flat. So what we'll do is, one option that many people advise is subdivision surface, and in that subdivision surface, we have to switch to simple mode. Currently, it's not working because we have the subdivision surface modifier after shrink wrap. So first the blender is shrink wrapping all the vertices to the surface, and then it is applying the subdivision modifier. We don't want that. We want the increase in poly count to occur first, and then we have to apply the shrink wrap modifier. So when I move it above the shrink wrap modifier, you can see this has changed. Okay, so currently if I go into the local view mode by pressing slash, um, and if I remove the optimal display and enable wireframe mode, you can see using the subdivision surface, there are four faces created from one single face. Okay, so if I increase the levels of subdivision, you can see uh, 16 faces are created from these and this one single face. Okay, so when I exit the local view, you can see the plane is being projected shrink wrap over the surface of this mug. So if I want to, one second, I'll just shade flat. So if you want it to display properly, currently it is not being displayed. If I hide the shrink wrap modifier, there's an image that is used as a texture over this plane, but once we enable the shrink wrap modifier, you can't see the image, the texture. So for that, you'll have to increase the offset value 4. So now you can see there are some shading issues on this. Okay, if we wanted to wrap to the surface properly, we'll have to increase the levels of subdivision at least 4. Then it will look better. Now if I go and reduce the offset, it will work. Now, if you see, there is still some gap between the surface. So I'll try and reduce the distance. Yeah. So initially the reason it wasn't working was, if I go back to the, okay. So reason being, you can see, um, let me enable wireframe mode. Yeah. So you can see this and this, between these two edge loops, the flat plane is there. So this flat plane is intersecting with the surface of the mug, and that is why we are not able to see the surface, we are not able to see the image properly. When we increase the subdivision levels, we are adding another loop, and hence it is able to curve properly. So when we increase it to 4, it is, the plane is being projected onto the surface, shrink wrapped onto the surface of the mug properly. So, and then we can reduce it and make it look like it is being slapped onto the surface. Now, the problem here is the problem with shrink wrap modifier. Actually, there are two problems in this. One is with the subdivision surface, one is with shrink wrap modifier. I'll explain both. Now, if I hide everything except for this um, plane, so currently there are 256 faces in this plane just for one projection. Okay, so I'm going to unhide everything else now. I'll just remove this. Okay, so the issue here is that this plane has 256 vertices, 256 planes. So it is not required. It is a little too much. So if I go into the wireframe mode again and I go into the local view, so the issue here is these vertical loop cuts are being used to curve this surface, but these horizontal loop cuts are not serving any purpose. They're just there for to increase the geometry, and this is going to add up in your, and this is going to increase the render time. So you're going to have to find a way to remove these loop cuts, horizontal loop cuts that are not being used. So for that, what you're going to do is you're going to remove the subdivision surface modifier and go into the edit mode by pressing tab and control R to add loop cuts. I'm going to add 22 and then right click to commit. And when I exit the mode, you can see the result is the same, but this, if I hide everything else, shift H. So the result of this is that this plane has only 23 faces, whereas the one with subdivision surface modifier, it had 256 faces. So we have reduced the face count 10 times and there's no noticeable reduce in the quality. Okay, now the issue here is you can see the image here is being compressed horizontally. Okay, ideally if I switch off the, one second, yeah, if I switch off the shrink wrap modifier, you can see the image is it is in a 16:9 ratio, but when it is shrink wrapped on the surface, it is being compressed horizontally. So what do we have to do to rectify this? For that, you'll have to make sure that all the points on the plane are as close to the surface as possible, or at least equidistant from the surface of the mug. Let me explain this. So what's happening here is, let me yeah. So what's happening here is the plane here is being projected onto the surface of the mug like this. Okay, like this, inwards. Now this is far away from the mug surface, so the vertices and the edges in this region will be projected close to each other over the surface of this mug. I hope this makes sense. So we'll have to make sure that all the points on the plane are equidistant from the surface of the mug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter the edit mode and I'm going to go to the wireframe mode and I'm going to select these center edges, these two edges. and zoom out a bit. I'm going to enable proportional editing and make sure the proportional editing is set to sphere, and then press G and Y to make sure the editing is locked to the Y. Now I'll do it a little more, grab Y. Okay, I feel this is fine. Now select all. Now we need to switch off the proportional editing and then grab all the vertices and move it close to the mug. Now you can see this is curved and slight, and there is still some distance between the plane and the surface of the mug. But the result now, when you see this, I'll move it closer. Now when you see the result, I'll enable the shrink wrap modifier. Now it is not horizontally compressed. So this is the method, and there are no shading issues as compared to the earlier version. So this is one method. The second method is to use the base geometry. I'll explain. You can see there are two levels of subdivision surface modifier applied on this mug. What I'll do is I'm going to apply the modifier. Okay, so we have this geometry. I'll go to the local view by pressing / and 3 to the right view. And then I'm going to switch to face selection mode by pressing 3. And suppose I want to place the image on this surface, this, and on the opposite side also. So I'll have to make sure that I'm selecting all the planes. Okay. Yes, deselect. And okay, so we have this mug selected, this portion of the mug selected. I'm going to press Shift D to duplicate these faces, right click to put it back to their position, and then press P and then select by selection, separate by selection. Okay, now exit the edit mode. Now we have two objects. One is the surface that we separated from the mug, and one the mug itself. Okay, now currently you don't see any difference. Select this separated surface and go to the shading tab. I'm going to select here shader. Okay, so currently this surface, this mesh that we separated is using the same material as the mug. We want a separate material, so what we are going to do is I'm going to press this cross button and I'll create a new material. Okay, and then I will press Shift A and search image texture. Okay, and plug it into base color. Currently there's no image, hence we see the black color. Now we click the drop down menu and select the JPG image. Okay, so we see something, it is still not proper, so we are going to go into the edit mode and select all the faces of this mesh, press U and unwrap. Now these faces are vertical, we need to rotate them and just 0.5. Okay, and just scale them up. SY. Okay, so now we have this material, this texture, this image perfectly wrapped around the mug without any shading issues. And that's it. This was the method where we use the base geometry. Now remember this, sometimes there will be, let me go into the local. Okay, so sometimes there will be times that the mesh, this image mesh and the mug mesh, they might intersect and they might cause some issues like this. Can you see this? So in that case, we'll just have to scale up the image just slightly and it should solve the issue. I'll just close this. Now, then we come to the third method where you got the comment, why not use the UV maps to slap the image directly onto the mesh and change the texture node to clip from repeat. Okay, let's see what this means. So we have this mesh, right? Blender gives you the option to have multiple UV maps. I'll just remove this. So this mug has currently only one UV map. If I go into the UV editing tab, uh, you've already created a UV map and it looks like this. And this is perfectly fine. This is a very good map, but we need another UV map. So what we are going to do is we're going to go to this object data properties. Okay, this green icon, object data properties. And in this, you're going to see UV maps. Just go and click plus and double click on this to rename it image UV. You can give it any name you want. I am giving it for easier communication. So currently it is when we don't do anything with the new map, it just copies all the older map from the uh, initial map. So it is copying the map from this UV map to the image UV. Now what we want is, suppose again I'm going to press 3 on the side view and I'm going to select some faces like this, and then I'm going to go control 3 to the other side. Okay, and I'm going to select these faces. Okay, so I have these faces. Okay, just follow what I'm doing. I'll explain everything later on. So you've selected these faces. Now we are going to unwrap by pressing U, unwrap. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything else other than these faces that we unwrap. Just press Control I. Okay, so it has loaded the older mesh. Now what you're going to do is press U, unwrap. It has unwrapped. If you don't even do that, that is fine. Just select all. Okay, if we select Control I, these are the faces that we have unwrapped. But now we want to select the faces that are not selected currently. So Control I, and what we are going to do is we are going to press hover our mouse here and press S and 0. So all of these has been scaled down to an infinitely zero size. Okay, now just grab by pressing G and move it outside the plane, this border. Okay, just place it here. Okay, I'll explain everything later on. Okay, so this was the basic layout. Now what we're going to do is, again I'm going to go to this. I'll create a panel, go to the shader editor, N, and in this case also I'm going to create a new material. So press N. Okay, so we have this material. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the roughness, increase the specularity. Okay, just like you said. Now I'm going to add a image texture, and I'm going to add the image. Okay, currently it is not doing anything because we have not plugged it in. So I'll plug it in. Okay, so currently what is happening is the image is being applied to the mug and it is using the default UV map, not the map that we use. We'll have to specify for the Blender to know that we want to use the image UV. Okay, for that what we'll have to do is press Shift A, search for UV map and press it here, place it here and plug it into vector. Okay, it is still using the default UV map. I'll show you. You can see UV map. Now if you want to change it, you can select UV map. Now look at this. Okay, so you can see the image is not being displayed properly. So what we'll do is we'll go to the UV editing tab and we are going to select the UV image. Okay, so again I'm going to select the inverse. The images, the faces that we unwrapped, they are here, but they are being positioned vertically, so we'll have to rotate it, and we're going to place it at the center of the scene, at the center of the image, scale it along the x-axis and scale it along the y-axis. Okay, move it along the y-axis. Okay, now you have this scene. Now you may ask what happened here. Why do we not see any color on the rest of the surface? I'll show you. The reason is because we have scaled it down to 0. Uh, actually we didn't have to do that. I'll create another map for this. I'll unwrap these. What we're going to do is we're going to move it out along the Y. Okay. So now you can see, even though these maps are outside the range of this image, these faces, still you can see if I switch off the overlays, you can see the image is being projected over these maps also, right? And that's exactly what this, let me show you, and that's exactly what this uh, repeat image does. Can you see this repeat? So again, so if I go to this, now what's happening here is this image is being repeated vertically and horizontally. So you can imagine this image, it is being repeated vertically and horizontally. Of course, it is not visible in Blender, but you can imagine that, right? So when we go to this, when we change this repeat to clip, you can see this turns to black. Let me switch off the overlays. You can see this turns to black. If I keep it at a repeat, the images are being repeated, okay, out of the range. If I keep it at clip, the image is not being repeated, but this area is displayed as black now. The reason for that is now currently this area is being used as alpha channel. Now alpha is always viewed by Blender as black. We can use this to our own benefit. What we are going to do is now is I'll keep it like this. Okay, so just press Shift A and search for mix RGB and place it over here. Okay, so currently what Blender is doing is it is mixing white and the texture that was available here, that was visible here, and mixing them together just like watercolor. So what we are going to do is we're going to tell Blender, let me show you what appears in the alpha channel. So what we are going to do is we are going to use this alpha channel of the node, and we're going to tell Blender that wherever it is white, display the image, and wherever it is black, display the other color that we set. Okay, so if we go here and we take this alpha node and plug it into factor, so we see black and white. Now the problem here is it is slightly inverse. So we are going to take this and plug it into the other color. And now everything is being displayed correctly. Now you can see the image is reversed. The reason for that is, let me see. Okay, so reason for that is we have the UVs inverted. So we are just going to rotate it 180 degrees, and you can see the image is being displayed perfectly fine. Okay, and I'm going to increase the color to total white. Now I'm going to go back to this, and now this method is a little complex, UV maps method, but it gives one of the best results. You won't have any shading issue. You can see this, and if you scale this, the texture is going to scale along with this. Of course, the same can be done with this. Let me switch on the overlays. So currently the mug is being rescaled, but the texture is not being rescaled. What you can do for that is just select the image and select the mug, and then press Control P and select object keep transforms. So now whenever you scale the object, the image scales along with the mug. I hope this makes it clear to you what repeat does and what clip does. So here are the three methods that we used. One is the method where we use the shrink wrap modifier. That is the fastest and the easiest, I would say. And we discussed what the issues were and how to tackle them. Then we used another method where we used duplicated faces from the mug and used it as an image plane. Then we have the third one, UV map method, and this is by far one of the best method to do this and the method that I prefer. I hope you understood what this clip and repeat does in the image texture node. So have a great day.